Lori with Rockenco Crafts. I want to thank you for joining me. Today is the part one of the three-part series of pouring the large skull mold. And this is the Let's Resin skull mold. It holds approximately 320 milliliters. However, the item I'm going to put in here today, the object, there's going to be a lot of displacement. So let me show you what I want to use on the first skull mold in this series. If you watched the video where I did the home decor makeover, I ended up with a lot of these stones left over. And even though there were several different colors of stones, for whatever reason, I'm going to put them here so you can see, I absolutely love the designs. Let me see if I can do that without it falling. Like that kind of looks like a star. I love the designs on these stones. So that's the first thing I want to do is I want to actually put these stones in the skull. And let me pour a few more out here. Now this skull will probably take, I don't know, 3 to 4 pours with a little bit of wait time in between because I don't want to flash cure. Also, I learned when I was doing the video, the shell casings in this skull, shell casings in the large skull mold, I learned that even if you don't pour a whole bunch, you got to be careful when you're putting objects like this in there because of bubbling. Now, I will put that video as well as the home decor video. I'll put links to those in the description box below. I don't know if you can see it, I've placed an X on the bottom in hopes, that's my center mark. What I really hope to do is I want to put one of these, you just can't see it with my blue glove, with the stars. I hope to be able, it looks like a star to me. I hope to be able to actually center that at the bottom. Now I'm sure it'll shift around a little bit here and there. Something else I'm hoping to be able to do is face them upward instead of the flat end. That doesn't mean that some of them won't be like that. And I also hope, like that one already flipped over, I also hope to have some negative space. So let me go ahead, and after I put some of these in here, I will give you a peek. See, I'm just going to try to carefully drop them down because I really do want the flat part or the rounded part showing on the outside of the mold, but that doesn't mean they'll all be like that. And I also kind of want to pile them up only because I don't like to see just a flat level of surface, like that's where the pour ended, even though that is where the pour may end. So I'm just trying to mix these up a little bit. I'm trying not to get, like these remind me, let me pull that up there. That reminds me kind of a leaf or something. I'm trying not to get too many of one or the other in there. I'm trying to mix them up. Let me flip that one over. And again, I will give you a peek down in here once I get these put in. And there will probably be a 2 to 3 hour wait time. I'll actually come occasionally just fill the mold to see when it starts to cool off, and then we'll do another pour. Let me see if I can get that one in there. I need some more of the star looking ones. So let me pour some more out. These are just so pretty. I love these. And we'll just see what the end product looks like we do. I'm going to try to give it a few little dumps simply because I really don't want any bubbles. I'm going to turn it this way. Maybe you can see in here better. See if I can't pop that in. I'm just going to pop a few of these in, and I don't know, it may or may not look cool. In my mind, it looks cool, but I never know until I unmold it. I'm just going to continue to layer these in just a little bit. I don't want it absolutely cram-packed full. But I do want enough in there that I have the design as well as some negative space. Let me see if I can find, let me put this one over here, and I'll have to give it some good thumps on these sides here. Let me see if I can squeeze that in there. Nope, she's not going to fit. That's okay. I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm not going to force. I'm just moving it around so that I can see where I think I may need to put another one. Because again, I don't want a flat. Even though I may have small pore lines, I don't want just a flat surface. I like them kind of, that one's back to that. So hopefully that won't look too bad with that back. I still need something like right over here. I don't know if you can see, there's such a blank spot. Wonder if I have a little thin one that I can maybe tuck in there. I guess they're all about the same size. Let me see if I can get that one tucked in a little bit at least. Let me use the other side of my dotting tool. Nope, she's not going to go, and that's fine. I'm not going to force it. Just maybe a few more, simply because I don't want that flat line, and I'm hoping they stay up where I put them at. And just based on just the little bit I've done here, I believe it was like 40 milliliters of resin in here. But just with this, the displacement, it may just be another two pours. I guess we'll find out. One more here. All right, I'm just going to kind of turn it around a little bit so that I can see what I think. Let's see if I can't put that one up there. All right, I think that's probably a good start. Let me try to give you a peek in there so you can see what's going on. It's hard to tell with the light reflection. Hopefully this one will turn out well. Of course, I want all my projects to turn out great. All right, well, I'm going to let this cure for about 2 to 3 hours. I'll just fill the mold, and when it starts to cool off, and I think it's safe to do another pour, that's what I'll do. So I will see you shortly. I have mixed another 40 milliliters of resin. I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but I am going to be working with the whitest part of this mold. I'm hoping that displacement will make a difference. So let me go ahead. I'm going to put my hand in your way while I pour the resin. Get that in and start putting some of these stones in, and we'll just see how much this raises from where it is now. Let me put this in first, and then I'm going to show you just by try to carefully pick it up and see if you can see where I've just did this pour. Let me get all the resin in there first. All right, I think we about got it here. Let me move this out of the way. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see her. It doesn't look like there's very much more added to it. Just looks like a little bit. It's hard to tell. But with the displacement, I do see a few surface bubbles. So let me give it a little spray in hopes to get rid of those. And I definitely want to remember the cheeks. The cheeks on these tend to really bubble if you're not careful. The cheeks and the eyebrow area, I don't know what bone you would call that, but the cheekbone and the brow bone, I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can't get some of these stones placed in. And again, I do want to try to make sure some of them sticking out of the current layer of resin. And I am just kind of sticking them here, there, and everywhere. See if I can get that back there. Well, that one fell all the way down. I'm going to turn it this way a little bit, y'all, so I can see to put these in. I'm getting it on my gloves. And try to place them kind of different ones, the two different designs in different places. But yes, I want them sticking out of the resin some. I mean, there may be some that go all the way down like that one just did. But I do kind of want them sticking out of this layer of resin, if possible. Some of them are going to sink. Let me turn it this way a little bit and see what. See there, we have a lot of blank area here. That one fell all the way down. So we can get this one there without it falling all the way down. I'm going to stick that one right there. Maybe one more here. And maybe a couple more in the middle. I'm going to just grab a few here. Whoa, 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 whoa. I wanted to kind of sort of strategically place those. I don't. That one may not hurt where it's at. I may just leave that one. Stick another one here. See if I can turn it around so you can see a little bit and I can see the sides. So I can get some placed in there. Looks like I need some in that side over here, this side. Before I go any further, I want to give these cheekbones a squish. I really don't want any bubbles in there. There's still a little bit of room. It looks like that, or it's a bubble over here by this cheekbone. Let me see if I can get another stone in there. There. I just kind of want them completely covered so that I can tap them and get rid of any possible bubbles. I hope. I hope. All right, let me see. Looks like I can use one or two more back in the back. I'm just sticking my whole fingers in this stuff. Let's see if I can find another star looking one. I've poured all of them out, and I think I'm about, yeah, I think I'm out of the cute little star looking stones, but that's okay. These are cute too. Maybe, one back here. And then I think one up front here. Because I do want to kind of stick it out of the resin. Like thus and so. All right, what I'm going to do, I waited 2 hours. I'm going to wait another 2 hours. And then I may go ahead and mix 60 milliliters next time, just in case. I'd rather have too much than not enough. And that may or may not be enough when I do that. We'll find out. But I'm going to mix 60 in 2 hours. Where I'll definitely fill it to make sure it feels cool, but it was like 2 hours this time. And then hopefully that'll be our last pour. So I will see you shortly. We're back. And I mixed up more than enough resin. I mixed up extra intentionally. I'd rather have too much than not enough. Let's go ahead. This should be the last pour. I'm going to pour just a little bit in there. Add some stones. Check out the displacement. And then once I'm done adding the stones that I want to add, I am going to go ahead and dome it. I should have more than enough resin here to do that. It's hard to tell on the camera. I wish you could tell just how cool it looks down in there. It does look cool though. Let me go ahead and finish adding these stones. I want some facing this way. I'm going to kind of turn it a little bit so I can see in there to see. I still have plenty of room back in the back. And I'm actually using more of these stones than I had anticipated. But that's okay. They were extra. That one's turned the wrong way. Well, if it's not going to turn the other way, I'm not going to try to force it either. I do kind of want them upwards though. Let me see if I can move that one out of the way. Scoot this one in there without getting all sticky. Maybe place one under here. Keep it up. Or not. Apparently it's not going to do it. So let me just go ahead and place some more, and then we'll get ready to dome it. That one's sinking. That's okay. Turn it around so you can see the front. I definitely need to add some up here. I just need to make sure that they're under the mold. Oh, look, y'all, I found. Let me scoot this one over. Not exactly a star, but kind of looks like a star. I found one, so I want to put that up front. Simply because I happen to like those. And that's if it'll go. It may not fit. I have one underneath. Let me just see if I set that there, will there be room to dome? I'm going to add a little more resin. See if I can't flip that around. Just a little bit. We're almost done here. I want it flipped the other way if possible. But I don't know if I should try to just stick a few on here, like thus and so, before I dome it. Just so that if you turn it over to the bottom, it'll look cool. Hopefully look cool. And I still feel like there's a blank spot right here. Can I get one to fit under the mold? It needs to be under, because let me get a popsicle stick and check. I don't want anything popping out of the bottom of the mold, because that's just asking for a serious sanding job. It appears to be down there. Might give it another little push just in case. I just really don't want anything popping above. Check it again. Hey, everything appears to be under. So let's go ahead and see if we can't get a dome on this. Looks like there's still a little room. Okay, now let me check. Yep, there's actually still a little room. I'm surprised. Easy. Not too sure about this one. It looks like it's sticking out, and I do not want it to stick out. That is pretty domed. All right, let me get a wet alcohol wipe and kind of wipe the rim a little bit. And try not to make a mess. I just put a bubble in there. I'll take care of it in a second. Matter of fact, I may actually do a little spritz with the alcohol. Make sure that's under. Y'all, I'm not too sure about this one. I'm going to flip it. I do not want it sticking above. Okay. Now let me give it a little spritz. And I hope that wasn't too much. And I will meet you back here for the unmolding. See you shortly. It is time for the unmolding. Before I do so, I did want to point out, because I noticed when I look in here, I can kind of see it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, but these little stones have like little micro bubbles in them. So I do expect that we'll see some of that. I'm hoping that it'll just add character and not make the piece cloudy. I did not notice that when I started, but I notice it now. So I'm going to go ahead and get this unmolded. And generally speaking, I am usually happy with the way the skulls turn out. There's occasion, I mean, there's definitely sometimes that I feel like I should have done this, that, or the other differently. But if you are interested in this mold or any of the other Let's Resin stuff that I use, I will include my Let's Resin affiliate link in the description box below, because right now they are having an awesome mid-year sale. So if you're interested, go ahead and click on that link. I mean, it won't cost you any extra. And check out their sale. It almost looks like it's coming up, but it's not. It's flat. Let's see if we can get this thing out of here. And I hope it turns out cool and not just weird. And I definitely want to know what you think of it when in the comments below once I get it unmolded. And continue to watch, because I have 2 other molds that I'll be pouring one at a time, and those videos will go up on Fridays. And then let me know which one's your favorite, if you have a favorite. And of course, any suggestions, comments, tidbits, tips and tricks, those are always helpful. I'm working on it, y'all. This may be the first time I poured this one. I had to actually I bought 2 more of these, this one and another one, simply because the first one I had, I just completely wore out. And the first one, when I bought it, it was a skull with the little 4 mini skulls. And then I went ahead and bought two just regular, just the skull molds by themselves. Let's see what we have. Boy, that was a fight. That looks cool. Let me check here. There's no bubbles by the jawbones, which is where I'm always worried. I don't see any major bubble. I don't see any bubbling up by the brow bone. I guess that's what it's called. There's the bottom. Not as colorful as I usually make things, but it still looks pretty darn cool, I think. So there it is. There's the finished product. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I decided to hop back on here because I started thinking about what this might look like under the light. And this is just the Let's Resin. It's the LED base, the light base. So let me show you guys. Let me turn to the side. Maybe you can see it better. Look how cool that is. That looks so cool with the stones in there. Oh, that purple's really pretty. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to thank you for watching. Oh, that's so cool. Also, please consider hitting the like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe button. You have no idea how much that helps this tiny, small channel. But even more so, your comments are greatly appreciated. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks.